Welcome to another video. This time around we're gonna see what it's like to have a PS3 in 2025. Let's get it. The great thing about retro gaming, I think we can call it that now, is that there's no meta. I don't have to be worrying about playing the newest season to keep up or doing weekly check-ins for the sake of doing it and it feeling more like a chore than actually enjoying the game. There's something special about intention and putting the game disc inside the console and playing your favorite game. We had to go to the store to pick it up and actually want to play it. And we did that, man. The magic's still there. I feel intentional with the games I buy and pick up from the retro store down the road. It feels good knowing that I'll actually play it and not buy it because it was on sale for the low, I honestly feel like I get more use out of this, weirdly, than the current stuff, whether that's nostalgia or me trying to cure some sort of deep state depression is for another video, but for now let's check it out. The slim version that I have is pretty slick. It actually kind of looks like a UFO a bit. The slide function where the disc tray slides out, it seems kind of wonky, but it works. No complaints. You do hear the laser working to read the disc, but it's not too noticeable like the jet engine noise that was super apparent on the fat PS3s. I had one of those and it wanted to take off into space all the time, man. Like playing God of War 3 or The Last of Us. That startup though you can't beat that. You can't beat that startup. I don't know why we can't get one now. Kind of lame, but downloading things is a lot faster than I remember, probably because of modern internet speeds. I don't know, I'm not a tech guy. Still some patches that you have to download for some games, but it's mostly just one patch and you're done, and that's it. The controller is still nice. It is what it is, but it's a classic, I miss the screenshot button and the DualSense vibration. And the adaptive triggers. The DualSense controller is absolute top-notch. It's a beast. Not enough weight to this one though. It kind of feels cheap. It still feels right, I've been gaming on PlayStation since '96, so it just feels natural to me. The triggers are sloped, which I don't mind too much. Your thumbs on the joysticks can run into each other depending on your grip or how big your hands are, Some games like Heavenly Sword use the gyro controls. To some degree it's fun, but ultimately it's more of a gimmick than anything. I wish they'd use that for aiming on FPS, like when you zoom in. I know certain Nintendo Switch games do that. I'd wish modern shooters would do that, and it just kind of seems like a no-brainer to me. So the games, the reason why we all get one of these, right? For some retro gaming libraries, sometimes it's just nicer and better to have the OG. For some reason, the PS3 library is just not backwards compatible with the PS4 or the PS5. I want to say it's because of the PS3's cell architecture. I don't know all too much about that. If it's true or not, it still sucks either way, but whatever. Yeah, I don't like streaming them on the 5 because it's just not a true experience for me. Streaming in general, it's like renting from the government its ass. They'll take the games off with no warning, and if you have no internet or poor connection, it's useless. At the end of the day, when I get one of these, it's my game, I own it. I just pop the disc in and play. Newer games on the modern PlayStation stuff, a lot of them or most of them are starting to have the copies of the disc on the game and not a key card, essentially, when you just download it from the internet. So like games like Nier Automata, Final Fantasy Rebirth, Last of Us Part 2, those are some examples of that. Game cases and box art are just unrivaled, especially the holographic covers that were available, and then some of them had inside art as well. These things were super recognizable and they looked good sitting up on the shelf or if you wanted to show them off. There's some good special ones out there now, but they're definitely lacking in that area. Actual instruction manuals with color and craft. The physicality is just unmatched here, and it made you really appreciate the product. It feels like more and more like we're the products these days, being sold these half-baked games and subscription models so that we can buy more of what we could never play, and we never get that sense of fulfillment. The digital library was growing at the tail end of this console generation, so you could load up quite a bit of games. The bonus side of having the PS3 is the exclusives. Some of them are trapped in PS3 jail, or they never got an HD remake, like the Final Fantasy 13 trilogy, Heavenly Sword, Metal Gear Solid 4. Those are only playable here, unless you have some sort of emulation. I don't care for all that. But those games are enjoyable as hell still to this day, you know. They just don't make games like this anymore, taking creative risk and just really making memories and being impressionable. I think that's what games are missing these days, or they're just lacking that in an identity and a signature in their art. It just reminds me of the days that when you got a new game and you had the window popped open for that autumn breeze to blow through and just enjoyed a really good gaming session. Those are so memorable in that respect, you know. Some of these games still hold up today, like with lighting and scale and ambition. They were just really ahead for its time, especially a lot of the Sony exclusives with their graphical comparisons and storytelling. Some of them, not so much, but I tend to love shittier graphics anyways. I think I'll be making a video on that, and I think it deserves a video of its own, honestly. Multiplayer games are also really cool. You can easily turn on the other controller, hop on and just start playing, you know, split screen like Sonic Racing Transformed, or even Call of Duty 4, which the original version still has the split screen, not unlike the remaster on the current gen, which is, I don't know why they did that again. When I originally owned a PS3, I was, you know, super poor, and I didn't get to play all the games that I wanted, so I missed out on a lot. Being able to complete my library physically really feels like I got to heal that version of myself in some sort of spiritual way. After playing some of these older titles, though, it's easy to see that nostalgia can be a bit blinding with some of the games not holding up so much with controls, you know, all being there. But I mean, it's such a minor gripe, dude. All in all, it's a great experience, and I prefer to play actual video games when studios and developers care just a little bit more about storytelling, aesthetics, music, and characters in video games. Now for the UI, it's pretty snappy, it's smooth, and it boasts themes, which transferred to the PS4 era, which the PS4, dude, had such good themes. Those themes had music attached to them and sound effects when you move the, you know, cursor around. I miss them so much. They've been with me over the years after so many changes in my life, and that's the one consistent thing that I had was the 4 and their themes. But the clicky snaps of the PS3 are plenty to write home about. The menu icons for games change when the game is selected, and it even plays music. Everything is right where it should be, and the fact that you can listen to music from, you know, USB and watch videos like Blu-rays and DVDs still, you know, it really makes you think about the ownership in today's society of subscription. Some quick mentions though: YouTube and Spotify are sluggish as hell. Definitely makes you appreciate the modern stuff just a little bit more to navigate through. It's terrible. I wouldn't recommend. But I would recommend a PS3 in 2025 for sure, yeah. Especially if the younger generation, like if you haven't experienced that era of gaming, definitely snag one if you can. They're probably going to run you about $100, $150. Games are $5, $7, $10 a pop, so it's definitely nice to kind of go back and just experience that, and it'll really make you have an appreciation for what you have as well as, you know, what came before. It's also really nice to get those older games, even if you have the remasters on your current console, to offload them onto, you know, more of a dedicated console, because once you start loading all these games on, you know, say your main PS5 or PC or whatever, you just kind of get choice paralysis. Like you're trying to find something to watch on Netflix and you can't find anything because you have too much stuff. You know, there's this word dedicated is the key. You know, it becomes a place where you want to play instead of trying to play for the sake of playing, and like turning the game on and just being brain dead essentially, because you got too much stuff, dude. But you know, it's all too much, and having it separated really feels like you're in the zone with that machine, and it clearly it works for me, so hopefully it'll work for you. And you know, we made it to the end, so if you like this video, give it a like, maybe even subscribe. I don't know, maybe you know. Yeah, let me know in the comments, what are your thoughts? If you had a PS3 during this era, what were some of the best memories that you had with it? Sound off in the comments below, man. And hey, I'll catch you in the next one. Peace, love, and zen, y'all.